Hey everybody! I am finally going to be posting a video on the rest of basic training. I know I've been super delayed with that. It's just that honestly, it flies by so fast. I've quite literally forgotten a lot of it. Not forgotten, but it's just like I can't remember in detail everything that happened. And I have a new setting. I'm currently in my own private little office known as a closet. And yes, I know I'm wearing a long sleeve and hat in the middle of May. It's just that it's freezing in this bay. It doesn't even make sense. Um, First things first, though, I do want to give a shout out to the people that I have met that have followed me on YouTube. I really appreciate you guys. And the other day I was at the TMC and somebody came on the bus. His name is Fossman. And he was like, "Oh my gosh, do you have videos on YouTube?" And I was like, "Yes." He's like, "I've been following you." And that just warmed my heart to be able to meet somebody that's been following me and knowing that I'm actually helping somebody. So this one's for you, Fossman. I told you I've been making more videos. So anyways, let's just get down to it. Right after reception, that day that we got picked up or whatever, we got smoked a little bit while we were still in the reception area, but then they took us over to across the tracks, as they would call it here at Fort Sill, and you're gonna go to your battery area and you're gonna get your stuff out of the stake bed truck, which is where they have all your bags, and everything is just thrown around and tousled. People's laundry detergents were broken and busted everywhere. It's really kind of terrible, but whatever. And so then they did a couple of different shakedowns on us. They checked all of our stuff for no contraband. My battery specifically, we couldn't have cough drops. Just things like that. No electronics and things. They'll take your phone. You get one last phone call to your parents to let them know that you're okay and that you've made it across the tracks. And then they took our phones, but we got to keep our batteries and our chargers. So then after that, we kind of just took our stuff upstairs and got assigned to our bunks. And then that was time for dinner chow. And I just remember specifically marching down the road to dinner chow, and I was just looking around and I was like, oh my gosh, this is real. I'm really here. This is really happening. I'm really in basic training right now, or boot camp, But then after that, it's I can't remember everything in detail, but I do have a list of some of the things that, I'd like to go over. First of all, getting smoked. We got smoked at least once a day. My platoon specifically, we would get smoked multiple times, but for a short amount of time. And for us, in the beginning, getting smoked is just doing push-ups, and just doing push-ups alone starts to suck. But the worst part is they'll put you on a half right face, but they won't extend you out. So people will jump back because to get down to the push-up position, you're supposed to put your hands down and kick your feet out. You can't crawl back or anything like that. And if you don't do it like that, they'll make you do it again. And so people would be jumping back, and they would jump on my fingers and break my freaking nails off, and it would hurt so much. It would feel like my fingers were bleeding sometimes. But it's getting smoked was probably, it was one of the worst things, but mostly it was the mental aspect of it, because in basic training you don't get any alone time. None. I actually cried one time because I was so mad that I just couldn't be by myself. I couldn't go anywhere without hearing somebody else's voice, or somebody standing by my bed, or somebody else's conversation, somebody yelling when I'm trying to sleep, just stupid stuff, and I was so frustrated. But I used to punch mattresses. That was the way that I dealt with my emotions. If I would just get really mad, I would just take a mattress and punch it, and I was good to go after that. But okay, so you get your rifles, and your rifle is your new best friend. You're going to carry it wherever you go. It's going to hang on the end of your bunk when you go to sleep. The only place we weren't allowed to take ours was into the latrine, in our bays, and into the latrine and the ranges. Somebody had to watch it for us. But if you better get a battle buddy that you trust, because if that rifle gets lost, the whole post could literally shut down to find that one rifle. And they actually did that to my best battle buddy. She lost her rifle, but she didn't lose it. My drill sergeant actually took it because she left it unsecured. And he called a battery formation and was talking about all this stuff, and she was just crying. I felt so bad for her. I love you, Christine. I'm sorry. So, all right, you're gonna have your rifles on you at all times. You're gonna march with them and everything. You're gonna start learning D and C and stuff with your rifles. It's just different movements with your rifles. I can't really explain it because I don't have a rifle to show you. But at the same time, you're also going to be learning different D and C just as far as marching goes. Because if you look at reception privates, like you don't realize the transformation while you're in basic training, but in reception to like when you finally graduate, there is such a huge difference in how you march and how you conduct yourself and things. And mine was different because I had HBL, so a lot of our training was kind of like broken up. But you'll probably start doing like different drills with your rifles to get ready to go to the ranges and stuff and qualify for basic rifle marksmanship, which is really important. They'll teach you like the fundamentals of marksmanship, and they'll teach you just like how to shoot and stuff like that, the different positions that you shoot from and things like that. And then everyone's going to be super excited to go to the range until you actually go to the range, and you're going to realize how much it just sucks. It's fun for like the first day, but then it just takes forever because there's some people that are just not going to be able to shoot flat out. They just can't, and it takes so long. You're going to go to a first like a course where it's like electronic, and it just lets you feel what it's like to shoot your M16, but it's not realistic whatsoever. Don't even base, it's just literally letting you know what it feels like to shoot a weapon if you've never shot a weapon before. But it's not even anywhere near like shooting your M16. I didn't realize it was going to have like as much, I guess, kick, because when you shoot it at that little range, the computerized range, it's just like, pss, pss, that's what it sounds like, because it's like air powered. But when you actually shoot it, it's going to make a loud sound, and it's going to like shock you a little bit, like, oh wow, that really just happened. I really just shot, from this weapon. But yeah, it's fun to shoot though. If you just pay attention to the fundamentals, you'll be able to get it in no time. I qualified on the first try. I think I shot either like 28 or 29 out of 40, and you need like 23, 22 to pass. I don't know. But okay, so you'll be doing that. You'll be going to the ranges a lot before you actually qualify those, so don't worry. You won't just go in there blindly not knowing how to do it. You're going to have your rifle like zeroed and everything to your eye. I'm telling you, that thing is going to be your best friend. That actually takes up a good part of your basic training. I think it's like 2 weeks because, they've got to teach you everything, and you cannot graduate if you don't pass BRM. It is vital, probably the most vital part of basic training. And then in between there, you do combatives and stuff. Every battery, or in some cases, depending on where you go, every company does things differently. So you might not do BRM the same week that somebody else does BRM, or rather you might not do combatives when somebody else does combatives. We did combatives very sporadically. Combatives is fun until you get your ass kicked, and then it's not fun anymore. But I have to make a segment for the worst day of my life. I'll save that for another video. Fair enough. So you're going to do combatives, you're going to do hand-to-hand, you're going to do pugils, and you're going to do, actually I think that's it, just hand-to-hand and pugils. And you're going to qualify with arm, you're going to be wearing your battle rattle and stuff like that. You may ruck in your battle rattle, you may not. Actually, a lot of things have changed just even since I left for basic training. Apparently they don't have pistol belts anymore. They don't ruck with rucksacks anymore. They ruck with like backpacks. I don't know. So whoever's going in now, congratulations. Like, you guys, it's going to be awesome for you. But we got in trouble a lot to where we had to wear a battle rattle 24/7. Like when we tried to qualify for ARM, which is Advanced Rifle Marksmanship, which is basically qualifying with the same things that you did for BRM, but with your battle rattle on, meaning your IBA and your ACH. And somebody said that it was uncomfortable and that they didn't want to shoot the extra rounds, and so we had to wear it for like a week, 24/7, on our fire guard, on going to chow. We wore our ACHs to chow. Do you know how ridiculous that looks? Probably not. We looked ridiculous though. yeah, so you're gonna do like night shooting, which really we kind of didn't really get to do. We didn't get to use tracers or anything like that because apparently it was too hot out, but it wasn't too dry or something. Um, and it's kind of fun though. You get to like shoot at glow sticks. Um, the grenade course, that was really super super awesome. That was probably my favorite part of basic training. Throwing 2 live hand grenades. I mean, like who can really say in their lifetime that they've thrown grenades? This guy. So first you're going to throw the 2 live grenades, and then you're going to go to the other grenade range the next day where you're throwing like the fake grenades. But it's just to let you like get a feel for like different situations. Like you have to throw it and get it within like 5 meters of like a car, and then you have to throw it into a trench, and you have to like cook it and put it inside like a building, throw it into just like the proximity of like some people. It's pretty cool. That was not a good day though. The day we were up to that range. What else? A lot of people were asking me like what fire guard is. You're gonna have fire guard. You may have it like every other night or every night depending on how many females are in your battery or company. Basically, you have to stay up for your fire guard shift. Don't even think about falling asleep. One person is supposed to sit at the desk and the other person is supposed to roam. Now, mind you, there are little differences depending on where you're at, but my drill sergeants like to just come in randomly and check to make sure that we were up and doing our job. It's really scary. I was terrified to roam because I'm afraid of the dark. So, yeah, half the time I didn't really roam completely, but I was up and I was doing my job regardless. And yeah, it does take away from your sleep and everything, but basic training is not that long. I've been in rehab longer than I was in basic training, and I would do basic training again because it was fun. The last thing, the COC course, I guess that's kind of like the last big thing. It's an obstacle course. It's terrifying. Terrifying. When you do Treadwell Tower, you're secure in a harness. When you do the COC course, you are not secure. You are just climbing up these obstacles without anything to catch you besides some blue mat at the bottom that is not going to catch me from that high. I can't really explain it fully. Maybe you've seen pictures of it. I don't know. But there was like a little zip line that was kind of cool. That's the one where you see like Jacob's ladder and stuff like that. Those little obstacles. I didn't get to do those obstacles. I only got to do the 2 big ones because I was injured and I didn't know that I had my fracture then. And the very first obstacle that I went to go over, like to throw my leg over, my bone just like, basically I fell out and almost passed out because it hurt so bad. So, but I can tell you that that was a lot of fun, but it was really, really, really cold that day, so that made it a little less fun. But the obstacles, I'm glad I did them. I would rather go through the gas chamber again than do those obstacles again, though. It was horrifying. Horrifying. But yeah, as far as like everything else goes, basic training, it was really fun, and it goes by so fast. If you count Sundays, it's just like before you know it, it's over. You're going to get there, you're going to have 0 week, which is the first week that doesn't count for anything, and then you're going to start week 1. And after you get done with BRM, it goes by so fast. Like, before you know it, you're going to be graduating. And it's hard to really believe that it just goes by that fast. You'll probably even miss like the good and the bad times with your battle buddies. I know I miss my battle buddies to death, and I should have been at AIT with them, and I wasn't, but I miss them so much. I miss my drill sergeants. Like, my battery should be picking up next week, and since I'm here in the reception battalion, I'm going to see them pick up, and I'm just so excited to see my drill sergeants. Like, every time we go across the tracks, when I go to the TMC, I look over at my old battery to see, like, if I can even spot one of my drill sergeants. Like, you grow to respect your drill sergeants, and even though they are going to smoke the life out of you, at the end of the day, it's nothing personal. Well, sometimes it could be, but I didn't have it bad with any of my drill sergeants, so I only got smoked if I did something stupid, like maybe if I accidentally questioned something that they said, or I wasn't where I was supposed to be, something stupid. But literally anyone can get through basic training. it's the mental thing that's going to get you. Being surrounded by all those people all the time and not being able to think for yourself, or if it's the first time that you've left home, that's going to be hard for you, missing your friends and family and stuff. But just push through it. If you really want to be here, it's so worth it. It's so worth it. I've seen people, being that I'm in the reception battalion, people that chapter out while they're still in reception. The Army is not like reception, and the Army is not like basic training, and the Army is not like AIT. Like, so just get through it and find out what it's really like before you go and just make assumptions. Like, reception sucks. You're not doing anything. Basic training, you have no freedom, even though you're doing stuff. PTRP, where I'm at right now, the worst. It's like all of those three things combined. But I want to be in the Army, so I'm going to push through it. And I should be out of here in like a month, and doing my walk to run and then get to AIT at Fort Sam. So maybe I'll be seeing some of y'all there. Maybe not. Who knows? I know a couple people that I've seen here. I should probably be going to AIT with them. People that have been watching my videos. So, but I'm going to post another video about the worst day of my life in basic training. So stay tuned for that.